होता बेचारा कदम न होते आवारा जो खूबसूरत कोई अपना हम सफर होता हो ये दिल न होता बेचारा कदम न होते आवारा जो खूबसूरत कोई अपना हम सफर होता सुना जब से ज़माने हैं बाहर के हम भी आए हैं राही बन के प्यार के सुना जब से ज़माने हैं बाहर के हम भी आए हैं राही बन के प्यार के कोई न कोई बुलाएगा खड़े हैं हम भी राहों में ये दिल न होता बेचारा कदम न होते आवारा जो खूबसूरत कोई अपना हम सफर होता अरे माना उसको नहीं मैं पहचानता बंदा उसका पता भी नहीं जानता माना उसको नहीं मैं पहचानता बंदा उसका पता भी नहीं जानता मिलना लिखा है तो आएगा खड़े हैं हम भी राहों में ये दिल न होता बेचारा कदम न होते आवारा जो खूबसूरत कोई अपना हम सफर होता उसकी धुन में पड़ेगा दुख झेलना सीखा हमने भी पत्थरों से खेलना उसकी धुन में पड़ेगा दुख झेलना सीखा हमने भी पत्थरों से खेलना सूरज कभी तो दिखाएगा बड़े हैं हम भी राहों में ये दिल न होता बेचारा कदम न होते आवारा जो खूबसूरत कोई अपना हम सफर होता ये दिल न होता
Indian Bollywood singer Kisha Kumar going out to all our friends across Southeast Asia. You're listening to a special anniversary program from PCJ Radio International celebrating our 5th anniversary. And for this 5th anniversary, we have a couple of special prizes. That was a 1-year subscription to the e-magazine, The Spectrum Monitor. And we're also giving away 2 shortwave radios from Sea Crane. Now, to enter the contest, all you need to do is send us your name and phone number to the following email address, pcjcontest@gmail.com. That's pcjcontest@gmail.com. Sea Crane Radio has so many different types of radios. They have shortwave radios, FM radios, DAB radios, Wi-Fi radios. They also have a wide variety of LED lights, headphones, active antennas, and so many other products. Now, we've actually entered into a small partnership with Sea Crane. If you order any product from Sea Crane Radio, if you mention PCJ, you will get a special gift. That's right. If you order any product at all from Sea Crane Radio, you will get a special gift from them if you mention PCJ. Their website is www.seacrane.com. That's CCRANE.com. We're now joined by a very special guest who's joining us from Holland. Joining us now is Tom Meyer, who hosted Happy Station on Sundays for more than 20 years. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Keith. I think it was even more than 25, but I'm not sure.
Right. Well, you know, it's interesting because something that we have talked about before. Back in 2009, on March 12th, we did a special Happy Station show that was kind of a tribute to the years that you did the program. And, there's a very interesting story, not really about that first show, but I mean, eventually we did, after that one program, we did another, and then another. It was only, at the time, once every 2 weeks, and then it became weekly. And then PCJ, of course, we started right after that. But the idea of it actually goes back quite some time. For people that hadn't heard the story before, it was an idea that we sort of casually discussed more than 20 years ago.
Well, to rephrase that, it was your idea that we discussed more than 20 years ago. I wouldn't have dared to suggest to you that you would start a company and take over the Happy Station show. No, but I do remember. We were in my garden in Hilversum, I think.
That's right. And I was staying in your guest house, yes, right behind the garage. And I do remember one thing about the guest house.
Tell me.
The hot water heater I thought was horrible.
Why?
I was taking a shower one day, and I don't know what happened. The water was warm, and then I scolded myself.
Oh, wait a minute. That was, I think, a hot water boiler running on gas.
That's right.
But did it turn to cold or to boiling hot?
It turned to boiling hot.
Well, then you were probably accustomed to boilers that would immediately spout hot water, but this one needed time to sort of warm up.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. So I put it on, okay, the water's right, I started taking a shower. And then scalding hot water came out of it, and the language that was used was, I'm not going to repeat it on air, you know.
That's good. Well, now I also understand why at the time I thought, gee, I wonder why Keith is blushing all the time. But that was not blushing, you were burnt.
I was burnt. I was like a lobster. Anyway, I thought that, today for this special occasion, at this point in the program, for those people who would sort of like to have an idea, very close, not an exact verbatim discussion of what we have, but a close idea, we can actually go back in time, which is impossible to do. But as many of our listeners will know, a literary work from H.G. Wells called The Time Machine. So I built one. It doesn't really work too well. So now we're going to go back in time. All right, here, Tom. Come on, get ready. I'm flying Doctor Who's TARDIS right now. I follow the plans from H.G. Wells. This thing is just not working right. I mean, we're bouncing throughout the universe, going through time and space. I hope we don't crash. No, we're not going to crash. I feel safe enough. Okay, all right, he goes. We're in Holland, early 1990s, and we're coming in for a landing. It's a little bit shaky, and we made it. Tom, I have to say, your garden is so beautiful, and this is such a nice place to have a cup of coffee on a beautiful Sunday morning.
Isn't it now? Maybe if we want. This is being recorded, isn't it? For
Yes.
use in about 20 years' time.
In about 20 years' time, yeah.
Well, then we don't have to be honest, and we don't have to tell whoever is hearing this that it's not coffee we're drinking.
That's right. And we're not going to tell you what it is. But you know, Tom, it's funny, Tom. You know, I've been here in Holland for a couple of days, and you know, you're no longer going into Radio Netherlands, and I mean, you know, because you're out of the organization now, do you think that Happy Station's going to be canceled?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I am. Well, you should never say you're positive about anything, but I'm almost positive that it won't last very much longer. And that is because we have arrived, like so many other countries in the world, in the era of managers. And that's not always good, because you often see managers appointed to companies or organizations which they know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not be too verbatim, but, or outspoken rather, Radio Netherlands has also been suffering from that. We are not necessarily managed by people who are very well versed in shortwave affairs.
Yeah, that seems to be the sad case anywhere. But let me ask you, you know, just out of curiosity, is the name Happy Station copyrighted or registered by Radio Netherlands?
Not that I know of, and I would be extremely surprised if it were, because as you know, and a lot of listeners also know, the name Happy Station was thought up in 1928 by the originator, Eddie Starks, at the time working for Philips. I'm sure they didn't copyright the name. And Radio Netherlands, which started in 1947, still, in this day and age, does not strike me as an organization which thinks of modern things such as copyright.
So what you're saying, Tom, I mean, right now, if I wanted to, right in this garden, I can tell you, you know what, we can start the show up as an independent production. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yeah, sure, except that you would have to do it. Because for me, no, thank you.
Oh, that would be a fun idea, but I think it would be too difficult now. I mean, you know, we have no studio, and there's no way to possibly record the show. But I mean, you know, who knows what can happen in the future?
Well, that's something you always got to keep your eyes open for. And there's a famous song from a musical, "Open a New Window."
But you have to make sure you're not looking at something nasty on the outside.
No, open a new window, but don't jump out. If you ever would be thinking of starting something to continue the Happy Station show or something like it, you've got my blessing, son.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's not exactly how it went. I'll tell you one thing, Tom. It's a good thing that this wasn't visual, because I would be looking back at myself going, oh my God, what happened to my hair? I mean, I still have a full head of hair, but the color has changed dramatically.
I almost wanted to say, what hair?
Oh, excuse me?